you don't want us to hear you.
Well, you know we don't, but what can we do? We tried, Florence, we
I
tried.
know.
Regular meeting of April 14th, call order, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Here.
Kennedy?
Here.
Longo?
Here.
Nattari?
Here.
Robel?
Here.
Strumelberg? Present. Mayor Kimball?
Here. Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Notice of this meeting has been given to the press and the public in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law.
Deputy Mayor Kennedy is going to present John Greco a proclamation for obtaining the rank of Eagle Scout.
You hold that. John, come around here. This is my nephew, John Greco. He just became an Eagle Scout. And it's really a big thing. John Joseph Greco completed his Eagle Scout Board of Review and obtained the rank of Eagle Scout on January 24th, 2015. John was presented with the converted Eagle Scout Award at the Eagles Court of Honor. And whereas the Eagle Scout is the highest rank of recognition offered to the scouting, and John is well deserving of this recognition. And whereas to earn the rank of Eagle Scout, a Boy Scout must advance through 5 ranks, earn 21 merit badges, and in addition to other requirements, he must complete a service project that benefits a nonprofit organization within the community. And whereas John Greco is a valued member of the Boy Scouts Troop 350 and is a dedicated young man who has earned the respect and whatever the hell the word is, of his fellow Scouts through his active participation in many programs sponsored by the Boy Scouts of America. Whereas he has truly exhibited a commitment to scouting principles, honesty, fairness, service, community, and constantly conducted himself in a manner of becoming an Eagle Scout, and is one of the best baggers at the shot right on Washington Avenue. Now therefore be resolved that the Mayor and the Municipal Council for the Township of Belleville recognize John Joseph Greco for his distinguished determination, dedication in pursuing the highest honor awarded by the Boy Scouts of America, and congratulate him on attaining the rank of Eagle Scout.
John, congratulations on your achievement. You want to make a little speech or don't forget about it? Congratulations, John. Approval of minutes.
None at this time, Mayor.
Report of the manager.
Mayor, council members, members of the public, we have a pre-con meeting scheduled for Monday with the engineering firm, Public Service, regarding the lighting on Washington Avenue. Currently, the lighting is completed, the manufacturing of the lighting, and Public Service will come in and have their install crew discuss the installation procedures with our police department and myself and the engineer involved in the project. It's our goal to have between William Street and Rutgers Street completed prior to the Memorial Day ceremonies outside the Town Hall. From there, they'll complete the project from the Nutley to the north border. We anticipate that the project will complete it before the fall of 2015. Road work is still underway. I was involved with a conversation with the engineer just this afternoon. They had some setbacks with the weather naturally, some rainy days here and there, but seems to me that the project will be completed timely. Received a request from Mr. D'Elia, Athletic Director on Board of Education, which I will distribute. What Mr. D'Elia would like to do is, with the approval of the mayor and council, he needs to install some concrete slabs for the track team. They want to have a discus throw area set up. He's provided the request in writing and gives a diagram of the proposed improvements that he'd like to make. Sat with Mr. Gilbert. and that really doesn't present the problem, but the engineer has not yet seen this. He was away last week. I anticipate meeting with him later in the week to determine whether or not he feels there's any problem.
Who's gonna pay for this?
This will be done with funds from the Board of Education, not from the township.
Yeah.
So that's at the edge of the field there, where the drainage is?
Yes.
Yeah. And check the pumps, if you could,
You know,
will let us know.
Yeah, like I said, I would give a copy of this to the municipal engineer, Mr. Harris, and have him take a look and see if it presents any problems in the current location before I ask your authorization to allow him to do this.
Just we'll get a report from Tom first.
Absolutely.
Just make sure he does soils and stuff too, please.
Okay.
you know, Kevin, instead of worrying about throwing this, we met with him a few months ago about parking around schools. Why doesn't he worry about that and get that under control? Like he said he was going to.
I will
You know,
ask
instead of
him.
worrying about throwing this, I almost got hit head on Union Avenue the other day because they were triple parked in front of number 3 school there, and the car was coming around number 3 school while I was heading southbound, and he came like 2 inches from hitting me head on. You know, same thing over at the middle school. He was gonna block it off so they wouldn't go down High Street. He's done nothing. I mean, you know, we're worried about this, and I'm worried about kids and parents getting killed or hit. Please, let's do some more important things. I want to come a discount.
Yeah, I have a few things.
Okay, I'm sorry, are you finished?
No. Oh,
Yes,
you
I'm
finished that?
completed, Mayor, yes.
Fine.
I have some pictures here of, Kevin, of North 9th Street. I've never seen a street like this. It's really one of the worst. And I'm going to pass them on. Nothing has been done. I don't even think the street is swept on 9th Street. I'm not sure, but that's what they're telling me. There's holes that you can't imagine. My car almost got stuck in one because someone called me about it. The other thing is, there's something going around town, and the website is www.earbnb.com. And what's happening with this is that up the street from me, someone is renting a home, like with 12 people in it, and the owner of the house is getting all these monies. It's taking up parking spaces. It's taking up people milling through the streets. It's really disgusting. So a complete investigation, I have all the stuff I took off the internet, should be made on this. And I understand this is not the only one in the first ward. I hear there's 2 or 3 more. Now, I'm sure we must have an order. It's like a hotel.
Like a rooming house? You're using
Yeah,
it like a rooming
I don't know if it's a rooming house. You know what? You have to see the inside. Show them, it's beautiful. The guy that owned the building renovated it, and he's making money hand over fist, and he's ruining the neighborhood. And I understand it's
Almost like a
in,
timeshare kind of thing.
I don't know, but there's 12 people in one home? Isn't that overcrowding?
Well, that would exceed the requirements for bedrooms, number one.
Yeah.
And I'll have to check and see whether or not we have an ordinance on the books regarding running a hotel, a single or multi-family home. Traditionally, they can be rented by the month, but not by the day or week.
Oh, well, you know, when the people come, it's always on the weekend for some
Right.
reason.
Well,
Like a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
looking at the advertisement you presented to me, it does say daily and weekly.
Does
It's,
it?
Yeah, it does. It says weekly price $1,400, family with kids.
My house.
And there's no part, yeah, the guy's making, I guess, a lot of money.
The only thing is, I question how big is this, because there's also some apartments for New York City Super Bowls.
Well, you know what, I downloaded a lot of stuff came out of my computer, but I went up there and I
You mean
saw,
the double stuff though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for.
yeah.
Right, right.
I mean, I don't care what they do in
Right.
New York or Nutley, I care right now what they do in Belleville. The other thing is, I took a tour on Wallace. I understand Wallace is going to be fixed, the street, but if you go to the middle, where Wallace is, it's Brighton, where all the streets, and they did patch, I guess Public Works patched the street, but that needs to go on the list. So Brighton Avenue is really bad, really bad. And then I got another call from somebody on Frederick Street, and they want speed bumps. Everybody wants speed bumps. And I try to, you know, I don't know if I'm right, but I said that when the winter comes and there's snow plowing, don't they pick up the speed bumps? Does it, I don't know.
We don't need them on every street. We don't need them, but the cops get tickets.
So I got a few calls on Frederick Street, they want speed bumps.
A lot of people want speed bumps.
That's what I said, and they told me to present that.
I'm sorry.
You're like I do, I throw rocks at them.
I think that's it.
John?
Kevin, any information from public service regarding Palmer Avenue, that chopping up that street?
Carmer Avenue is in the process of doing some paving work throughout the town. And as part of a meeting, they promised that they would identify the areas with us that had been disrupted and repave and repair the areas. So we should have that done within the next few weeks.
That's it.
Joe?
Yeah, Kevin, did you get a chance to talk to our engineer about the infrared patching requiring, whoever opens up streets to do the infrared patching when they do that?
He's gonna script language on an
Okay.
ordinance for that. We would have to adopt an ordinance on that.
Yeah, all right,
That's
good,
great.
thank you.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, he encouraged it on streets that were newly paved.
Yeah,
Within
exactly.
the last 5 to 7
Right,
years,
right,
not
right.
on.
The old ones are really
Doesn't matter. Kev, the left-hand turn on Franklin and Belleville, going south on Franklin, making the left onto Belleville, the interval's real short. I've had a couple of complaints about it, and they caught me today too. I mean, just get about enough time to get into the middle of the turn and it changes. So just have them check what the timing is there.
Franklin and Belleville,
Franklin and Belleville, the
Westbound?
left, heading southbound.
southbound.
We're on Franklin,
Okay,
southbound,
on Franklin.
making the left onto Belleville,
Okay.
eastbound.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other ones, but that one I definitely caught. Their time intervals seem to be set really, like, quick.
Well, the way those lights are designed right now, the light goes green and then the directional arrow goes later on. They had-
No, not this
Not in
one.
that direction?
Not in that one.
Okay, east-west, that's the way it's set up.
Yeah, north-south
I'll have
may
to
be
check.
different.
I'll have to check, we did a study on it.
It sets that way.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that the new, with the new controllers and everything, they're all radio controlled, and they can just send it a signal to change it, but I am not sure anymore.
Is that where the four corners are, Steve?
Right where number 10 and Soho, all there.
Yeah, because I go down there too, and I agree.
It's very short.
Something is wrong.
Very short. I know you're going to talk to Essex, to people at Essex Park as well as the people down in Essex County about finding out what we can do to help those people out with their parking, so just keep me apprised.
Okay.
The last thing is street paving. What is our schedule there? Because just like we have a couple, especially Jerome, and I know a lot of people have had problems at Jerome.
We are doing all the streets first that we receive block grant money on because the money has to be spent.
Okay.
In the accounts, then from there, Jerome and the other streets will be done.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Communications?
Request received from St. Anthony's Church for permission to conduct their Feast of St. Anthony on Friday, May 29th through Sunday, May 31st, and for the vendor fees to be waived for the $35 fee levy for all vendors.
Make a motion to approve it.
Hey, which one do you want to do?
Waive the fees.
Waive the fee? Okay.
We always waive the fees.
I'll second it. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Longo?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kibble?
Yes.
The communication received from the Township of Belleville Recreation Department stating that 2015 opening day ceremony for the baseball and softball recreation leagues will be on Saturday, April 18th at 9:30 at the stadium. All are invited to attend.
Ordinance is for introduction?
Ordinance number 1, an ordinance amending chapter 21, property maintenance code of revised general ordinances of the Township of Belleville to add section 9 entitled Regulation, Care, Maintenance, Security, and Upkeep of the Exterior of Vacant and Abandoned Residential Properties on which a summons and complaint and an action to foreclose has been filed.
Make a motion to move for introduction.
Second.
Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Longo?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2 for introduction and ordinance amending chapter 510 of the codified ordinances of the Township of Belleville, water and sewer.
Make a motion, move for introduction.
Second.
Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Longo?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Ordinance number 3 for introduction and ordinance to amend the revised general ordinances of the Township of Belleville, Chapter 8-16, handicap parking spaces.
Make a motion, move for introduction.
Second.
Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Longo?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Mayor, I make a motion, to take ordinance number 2 off the table.
I'll second it. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Longo?
Take no part.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Make a motion, move for introduction.
Second.
Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Longo?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Make a motion to open public participation.
Second.
Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Longo?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes. Almost part, it was the 15th of Almost got away with it, man. Almost got away with it.
Trying to be courteous, give somebody else a break, right? Resolution 5. What is this about? Why are we going, and for what reason, outside legal services?
That is something, Mr. Frantantoni, that we do once or twice per year to comply with the law. It's an invitation for attorneys to submit their qualifications to perform various services for the township.
So at this point, we're not hiring anybody?
No,
All right, and
it's an invitation. They have certain days by which they have to submit their what kind of fees they charge, what their areas of expertise are, what kind of municipalities they represent, if they represent this township before.
And Resolution 6, what property is this?
Resolution 6.
11 Franklin Avenue.
11 Franklin Avenue.
That's gonna
is
be
the-
so.
Well, that's the Roche property.
That's the Hoffman Roche segment. It's Roche property on Franklin Avenue, the former Jergens Lotion Center.
So we're going ahead and taking over this property?
See how we vote on it?
Okay, well, being still up for a vote, I'm pleased with what you again. Like I said previously, Huffman LaRoche is a big multi-billion-dollar corporation. We're a $56 or $58 million corporation. We're less than 1% of what they are. Let them handle the cleanup. So I hope we get 4 no votes here, which will be to the benefit of the taxpayers of Belleville. I want to address a few things that Councilman Kennedy brought up, the parking situation at the schools. And it's not only the schools, it's some of our public places. In 1989-90, plans drawn up for the municipal stadium, or renovations. If you check back at those plans, one of the plans was on Knowlton Street. It's a traffic jam in this football game because the visiting buses park on Knowlton Street, cars can't get around. The plans that were designed by Neglia under my supervision were to do an 8-foot curb cut in front of the stadium. We don't need that big expanse there. So the visiting buses would pull into that curb cut and they would be out of the flow of traffic. There's also, I recommended the Board of Education, School 7 on Franklin can have the same thing. A few years back, I see them paving this brand new sidewalks on Droman Street. I said, why are you doing the sidewalks? You got that big expanse of lawn you don't need. Do a curb cut. When people drop off, they'll be out of flow of traffic. I recommended it on other schools, but it falls on deaf ears. I just did a job last week on Lake Avenue in Lyndhurst. go over Stuyvesant Avenue, make a right on it, go up a block, there's a school there, they've had it for years. And, you know, I'm not a genius, I don't come up with these ideas. I see them in other towns. I go up in Millburn, they have the same thing in front of their schools. They do these curb cuts. We could do the same thing up at school number 10, right? We had that big lawn expanse there. But, you know, it just falls on deaf ears. But the town can do it, so instead, what do we do in front of the stadium? We put a big circle of concrete with a big B in it.
I mean, I've been going to the football games for the last several years at the stadium. I have yet to see a traffic jam. You might have seen it in '89, but now you go to that stadium, you might see 200 fans there. And there is parking wherever, there is no traffic jam. And the stadium looks great. We're not gonna be, well, personally, we're not gonna cut into it to take the grass away or make a circle for buses, so.
You're talking about 8 feet, which we get out.
I'm just telling you, the amount of fans that go to these football games now, there is no traffic jam.
Well, hopefully, if we improve our facilities, we'll encourage people up there. Because also in those plans, if you look at those plans with the current administration throughout the window, the north of the stadium, coming down from Knowlton Street, we just had that big hill of grass. That was designed to be another parking area. Less of a pitch, a retaining wall is going to be built. It would have been less of a pitch than our municipal lot next door. And it was going to handle, if I remember correctly, 58 cars, parked herringbone, enter by the stadium and exit towards Graylock Parkway area. So we have these opportunities to improve it, and that's how you improve a town. You know, and you know the old saying, if you build it, they will come. Well, if you improve it a little more and you make more, maybe we'll get some people there.
Well, I think I don't think it's us improving the recreation department. Our football team and them has to improve so they get the fans back.
Well, the thing is, you know, we had the beautiful, the rec house was renovated. I have all the pictures with 2 beautiful basketball courts. As soon as I got out of office, what they do, they pay them to make a parking lot.
Yeah,
and then we spent $125,000 to build a bathroom.
I remember how you was against the stadium that we improved immensely.
Immensely?
Yes.
Well, let's not go through that again, because the millions of dollars spent on all that pipe that went nowhere, you know. So, you want to add up the fact, over $11 million?
I don't know if that's the figure.
Well, I was keeping track of it, Mr. Mayor. And it could have been done a lot cheaper. And the final thing was after all those failed projects.
I doubt whether that's a figure.
And lastly, I hear about all these street paving. Once again, are these streets that are going to be paved, are we going to fix the infrastructure first? Are we going to videotape, repair the laterals, repair the old pipes underneath? Are we going to contact public service and see if in 6 months or a year or 2 years they're going to put gas lines in? Are we going to be doing these streets finally the right way so our public works don't have a break? Because once you pave a street and you don't take care of that poor infrastructure, you have tons and tons of asphalt, these big rollers vibrating on the streets, and every street we pave where we don't fix it, within 3 to 6 months, we got water leaks. So are we doing it the right way this time?
To answer your question, we are. Before they do any paving, they do check our laterals and our water lines and sewer lines, okay? Hunter Street was recently redone by Public Service, and it will now be resurfaced and receive all new Belgian block curbing and sidewalk. So with that being said, that street has all new infrastructure, and we don't handle the water in Silver Lake. That's Newark Water, so we can't control the Newark Water. But ultimately, the gas lines, the electric lines have all been redone underground. We had our camera test done on our sewer lines, and now it'll be paved.
Well, even though North Supply, can we contact North and say, look, we're paving the street. Do you want to check the water mains? And tell us if you want to do it. Now's the time to do it because we're going to be paving the street. That's how cooperation accomplishes good things and saves taxpayers money. It would save North because, hey, you're going to finish paving the street after, so they wouldn't have that responsibility. And it'll save us because the water mains will be repaired properly.
Right, but if we get an infrared ordinance on the books, if we do have to cut open the street, or if they have to cut open the street to repair their mains, they're going to have to repair our newly paved street to our new standard.
Well, and again, I'm glad Councilman Cosarelli brought that up, because I saw public service use those infrared things for their patch. But it goes beyond just the infrared patching. They're doing work on Belleville Avenue in Montclair. I go there almost 2-3 times a week, my daughter's house there. But they're filming the excavations the other day. But there's a man in the hole with the long hydraulic tamper, the tamper, and he's in it. 12 inches of fill, tamp it. Another 12 inches, tamp it. We just keep throwing 6 feet of dirt in the hole. And then we wait for the cars to compact it. And we're not filling the
When our crew does a patch, they don't put dirt in the hole, they put gravel in the hole.
Right,
When our crew does it.
yeah.
If public service comes out, we'll have a new set of guidelines set up, hopefully with
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah, we'll put that
Cosarelli
in
and the
there, too.
engineer get the ordinance in place, and that'll all be addressed.
But you know what's happening with the gravel? When you fill with gravel? You fill a 6x6 hole with gravel. The surrounding street, as the water goes down and water, that dirt from the surrounding area filters into the gravel and fills up, and then we got the street collapses around it, or settles around it. If you use the dirt, and we would eliminate the mountain down at Cortlandt Street. Let's use the existing dirt, compact it properly like public service does. Public service don't dump tons of gravel in their holes. They did my street, I watched them. Every 20 feet, they dug a hole to run their new gas mains. The same dirt that was on the street, they compacted and filled it back in. They filled it.
Want to finish up, please?
Yeah, but, I've been asking them to do it the right way, it would save us money. I mean, look at your excavations around here. Look at Home Street, it was just done a few years ago. When my grandson's 7, he was 4 then, so it was 3 years ago. And we took him and watched him. Look how many water cuts we've done in Home Street already. So, there's a right way to do it, and I've been in business 43 years, filled a lot of holes, and please, let's do the job right.
Thank you. Rick?
Vic Mafucci, 61 Continental. Following up on what Councilman Revelle said, I frequently go down Franklin to turn onto Belleville Avenue. You're lucky if 4 cars make it through the turn signal. 5 are extremely lucky. That's only if everyone's alert and goes right away. Also, sometime, it must be on some kind of timer. A lot of times at night, there is no turn signal.
It could be the way they
You just get the regular green light. Do you know if there's any problem down at Franklin and Mill where they're putting up the new housing?
Not aware of
Because
that.
I went by there yesterday afternoon, around 1:30, no one was working.
The job site?
Right,
I was there today, and I was there on Thursday.
They were there Saturday, too.
okay, well, yesterday was not.
Yeah.
All right. Also, is it just a custom, or is there a town policy that when employees answer the phone, they do not identify themselves?
Good question.
Anybody know?
That's a good question. If they're asked for their name, they should identify themselves.
No, if you ask, they said.
No, they
They don't normally say
before
who
they
they are.
answer, say who they are.
And they know who we are, because you have the caller ID.
They have caller ID, yeah.
Themselves when they answer the line.
They should.
Good question.
We'll send a memo out to make sure they're answering.
I mean, it wasn't,
Yes,
at least the first day.
Maybe they didn't.
Always ask for their name.
Thank you.
I generally said it's
Talking about parking, on Union Avenue, the daycare center just off of Graylock Parkway, that whole row of stores is like a daycare center. One
And
store
then double
after the
park
other.
and triple park there.
That's what I want to bring up. They are double parked and triple parked, and there's a bar, one of the only empty places left yet, not wasn't empty, but it's right next to all of this. And they're triple parked. You go by there whenever these kids are coming out. I remember when it came before one of the boards, so they said the employees were going to park across the street. They would not interfere with this. You know, you listen to that nonsense at these meetings when you go to the planning and zoning and they talk about the parking. It's a big joke because you know it's never going to happen with what they say in order for them to get permission to do these things. And that is definitely a problem. Some kid's going to get hurt bad over there one of these days. Marie, you brought that other thing up, but one day I decided to check the paper, our local paper, just to see what rents are going, you know. And there was an ad in there, Section 8 only, with a phone number. I was so tempted to call and find out the address where that place was located. So, you never know. And then again, I thank you gentlemen for turning down that project on Washington Avenue. If you go by there, with the cars that are parked in all between ShopRite and then the motorcycle mall, that street has a lot of parking space being used now. I can just imagine what a disaster if we put up one 50-story building on Washington Avenue, on what it would be like down there. Because I went by there a couple of days and the cars are completely lined up all along Washington Avenue. There's no more room for any more cars, or really not too many more people in town. I guess that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir?
Hello, Frank Fleischman, 132 Franklin Street. Councilman Burke was just speaking before about Frederick Street and the speed bumps. I don't think speed bumps are a good idea because 10 years ago we did rumble strips on Belmont and on Magnolia, and all they did was make funny noises. I know because I had to take her to the hospital one time and I went over one at about 50 miles an hour. All it did was went rrr. But Frederick Street there is a lot of speeding on there. I mean, I take that road every day to get to work. People do fly down that street, but then again, they fly down Magnolia, they fly down Franklin, they fly down part of Belmont. So we do need something to address that. I don't know if there's any traffic calming things that we can do, but yeah, it can be pretty bad, especially in the mornings. So that would be something we could look into. That'd be great. And again, thank you, as the young lady said before, for rejecting that proposal for the Northeast development. It's going to be interesting to see what they bring up next, but it's good to know that at least it seems that they're willing to negotiate now. So let's see how that works. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Make a motion, close?
Okay.
1 second, real quick.
Ain't going on yet.
Carmela Fleischman, 132 Franklin Street. On Franklin Street, turning on to Magnolia Street, can we seriously do something about the lovely people who don't understand how to make a proper turn? What they're doing is the cars are here, and instead of coming to the corner on Magnolia, they're streaming through and kind of going over the double line. I don't know what can be done besides me staying outside with a baseball bat. Any other suggestions?
You know why they do that? Because it's so backed up from the light rails.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean, if you have something,
Oh,
you could call.
no, like I said, I mean, it's ridiculous because, I mean, when the firehouse was
I know,
open.
that's the answer, it's backed up and they know that people can't, with that red light with the trains, they can't come up, so they're bypassing.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, when the firehouse was open, there was a couple of firemen's cars that got smacked a couple of times.
Our neighbors did too.
Yeah, well, our neighbor's part too far away from the street, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I don't know what, if anything, can be done.
It's just gonna have to be, a patrol car's gonna have to be in the area
I
before you see that
can we
happen.
put like a fake light out there? A fake
If there's enough lights there.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anthony Savella, 40 Crescent Terrace. Just real quick. Man, what they did to North Belmont is unbelievable. What the hell did they do to that street? We just paved Belmont Avenue, what, 3 years ago? First, the medical building went up and put that big hole in there, and now by Pan Park, I don't know what kind of patch job that is, but
You can't even go.
that's
over the
disgusting, especially when we got this done 3 years ago. And Mr. Frantantoni had a good idea with the curve cuts for the schools. The high school, yeah, you know, we don't need it for the high school for football, but that might be a good idea, especially on Geralman, because it is insane. I don't know why kids can't walk to school anymore. I always did. But, and then the next thing is I'd be the last person to be against our police department, but listen, if they're double parking, it's illegal. Let's give them tickets. Simple as that. Maybe if we ticket them, they stop double parking. They figure out another way if we don't. Another thing is stop signs. I'm not sure if the law is 50 feet from a stop sign or 100 feet from a stop sign, but this is constantly. You can't pull out of a street because you can't see who's coming because that guy's right up on the curb.
I've never seen tickets. We could probably make $500,000 just writing tickets on that, easy. I'm telling you. Not that we just, but there seems like there's no yellow curbs no more. There's, you park where you want, and that's the way it is. I don't know. Now, to get what I'm here for, we started this journey a long time ago, and when I asked for our parade and our committee, and let's do something with our Veterans Day parade, and one or two of you councilmen thought of making a resolution and forming a committee. Then Mr. Steinwell came in with his two veterans, one that was ready to go and the other one that betrayed me. But then he put in a thing in the paper how I was making this all about me, and believe me, I have no political aspirations. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for my uncle receiving that medal. So maybe this is where he wanted me to be. But, so after he attacked me with that thing in the paper, I sat back and I learned that I can't beat people up no more. So the power of the pen is what I use. So I recently went back and I found a thing from NorthJersey.com where it was like the week after we had our ceremony that Mr. Fortunato disrupted the whole thing, destroyed the whole week that this beautiful town had planned for my uncle. And I just wanted to read one comment in there. In addition to the monument at Veterans Park on Union Avenue, another monument was put at Belleville High School and another at the library, which we all know not was ever put at the library, but he was pretty much senile by then. One monument wasn't enough. Who the hell made him God of all veterans to say one monument wasn't enough? I heard that the monument cost this and that cost this. This is a slap in the face to Belleville residents and veterans. Come election time, Belleville veterans will work hard, very hard, to get the current officials out of office. You can bet on it. This town did a lovely thing for my uncle. And I think everyone that I ever spoke to felt the same way. Why this man felt that he should attack all of yous, I don't know. Why you gave him the respect you gave him that night is another reason. So, I put a package together of all the things that happened since 2011. Like most people don't know that Mr. Fortunato failed to place a wreath at my uncle's monument every Memorial Day since 2011. Now, proof, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Esposito, this past Memorial Day, I asked them if they would purchase a wreath for my uncle, being that the DAV and other veterans organizations in this town didn't think that that medal deserved it. And I don't want to make it about me. I don't even want to make it about my uncle. But if you were ever like this Eagle Scout here, it's the medal. The medal is what means something. It's not whose name. That medal is the highest. 9 out of 10 die for it. So to disrespect that medal, there's got to be something wrong with you. There has to be a reason. So was he just crazy? No. He was greedy. He was a thief. Whatever money he could get from this town is what he would take. And this town would give it to him. I asked for receipts for the parade. Never got receipts. I know a lot of guys want to just, here, Joe, take what you want and go away. Joe is a pain in the ass. So I put all this package together, and I sent all these letters and everything to General Dempsey and the Joint Chief of Staff, the DAV, the American Legion, the VFW, and the only one who answered me first was actually General Dempsey. In a beautiful letter, he wrote, "Thank you for your package to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff regarding the Medal of Honor Award for your uncle for his actions during the Korean War." I'm cutting some lines. "Due to General Dempsey's current up-tempo schedule, I am responding on his behalf. I was very sorry to learn about your family's experience at the Veterans Day Parade in November 2011 through the present. It is with the utmost respect that I extend my sincere apologies to you and your family for the anguish you must have felt." Okay? And then he goes on to say that it is ensuring your uncle is properly honored is every American's responsibility. Like I said, I never wanted a monument, I never wanted anything. But it's got to be taken care of and it's got to be done right. And if we're going to have that sorry parade, for which it was, okay, sorry, I'm a little shaky, I'm very upset, is that it had to come to this. Oh, by the way, the VFW gave me a beautiful letter. VFW Post 299 of Nutley has never been a part of the Veterans Parade Council or the Veterans Council in Belleville. Okay, never. Spoke to their commander, McGuire, Afghan vet, young, has his marbles. They're doing wonderful things for veterans, much more than the Legion or anyone else. When I contacted the Legion in Silver Lake 299, I was told that they ain't had a meeting in 2 years. They pay their dues, they drink and they smoke. You gotta understand, there's only 1/10 of 1% of this population fought in Iraq and Afghan. I don't even know an Iraqi war veteran. I don't know an Afghan one. But we all knew a Vietnam veteran.
Mr.
We had
Silva,
100,000 troops there.
could you just finish up, please?
Well, what I'm trying to get to is that with Mr. Steinwell attacking my honor, I looked into his organization, the DAV, because if anyone ever wants to check a nonprofit, it's called citizensaudit.org. Go on there, you can check any nonprofit's tax returns. So as I was checking his tax returns, I also opened his lease. The township leases, I believe, the DAV that land for $1 a year, okay? But with that $1 a year, they cannot use it
Mr.
to
Silva,
rent that hall.
Could you
So-
speak to the?
Right, so from what I understand, they cannot rent that place out. Well, I'm gonna give you a copy of the lease, I'm gonna give you a copy of their tax returns, and they were averaging about $30,000 a year they've been making renting that hall. That's what's on the books, God knows they took in cash. Now, if it says right here, it is understood and agreed that should the BNDAV use this property for other than their meetings, their agreement shall terminate immediately. Well, I'm asking that their agreement be terminated. He can take his tank, he can move to Nutley.
You can give them to the clerk to hand out. You don't have to hand them to each council member.
There you are, I'm
That's-
sorry, I
well-
didn't know your,
You know what?
procedure.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And like I said, the DAV's not doing nothing for veterans. Nationally, yes, but this chapter is a slush fund. You'll see by the papers you look at. He's been pocketing that cash for a very long time, and they continue to pocket that
He's saying
cash.
things that are, what do you call it? Are libelous.
Libel? Well, all I do
Can
is,
you prove that he pocketed cash?
can I prove he's pocketing cash?
Yes.
No, what I can prove is
Well,
that
you
he's,
just said he's pocketing cash. What cash did he pocket? I mean, I have no feelings for this guy or not.
I
But
really-
you're saying that
I
they're
told you that
stealing
was-
money,
I told you
he's
that-
pocketing
I
cash
told
from
you that I
who?
was upset tonight, and if I said
Well, you
something
can't
out
go
of
around
line, I
saying, you know, the mayor's
apologize.
pocketing cash from the
I
go-go bar
apologize.
like the election
What I
time.
said is
You
that,
know,
what
and
I
they were
said
taking
was that,
bribes.
this is what he's showing on the books.
Well, that's fine,
Okay.
say that. Don't say they're
Okay.
pocketing cash and they're stealing things.
Okay, well, to come to the town for money for a parade every year, when you're making 30 grand on a hall, that seems to me like a little excess.
Well, I agree with you on that,
Okay,
but
now, if this is the fact, and that he broke this lease, then I believe this town should immediately cease this lease and have him move to Nutley, where his friend Commissioner Rogers is. Maybe they got a home from him there, and he could fleece the township of Nutley for years.
Okay, Mr. Silva.
Okay? Now, I never started this. I only had to finish it. He came in here and he questioned my honor. Don't question my honor. I'm a very honorable man. I'm a great friend, and I'd be your friend till the day you die. And I came in here that day to speak, and I was willing to sit and work with him. I didn't ask for nothing for him to go anywhere to go. All I asked was, we had to make the
Mr.
parade
Silva,
better.
Mr. Silva, that's,
Okay?
I'm sorry.
We had to make the
Your
parade
time.
better. And I still say, if we can't, I can put 500 more people at the parade next year if I'm given the chance. That's a minimum. I guarantee you 500.
Thank you.
But if we can't make the parade better, then we should stop
Okay,
funding it. and
Mr.
do
Silva.
away with it. Come on.
make a motion, close public hearing.
Second.
Councilmember Cosarelli? Kennedy?
Yes.
Longo?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Make a motion, move the consent agenda.
Second.
Any deletions, sir?
Yeah, number one.
Just one?
Six.
Six.
Steve?
Cal 9 too?
And 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Move the consent agenda.
Second.
Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Longo?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Point of order, I meant to vote no on that.
No, this is on the consent.
Consent agenda.
Oh,
Consent
my
agenda.
mistake, my mistake.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Move resolution number 1.
Second.
Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
No.
Longo?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Resolution's approved.
Resolution, I think, 6.
Yes.
Move it,
Second.
Which number are we
6.
6.
Who pulled it?
Joe, you pull it.
What do you want to do with it?
Anything? You just want to vote
Just
on
want
it?
to vote. He wants to roll call.
Somebody make a motion.
Make a motion to move it?
Second.
Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Longo?
No.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
No.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Resolution's approved.
What's the next one, Kelly?
9.
Move resolution number 9?
Yeah, I just want to, Kev, I don't know if you want to do it. Do you want to read these names just to significant, you know?
Oh, eventually.
Signify.
Yeah.
I don't have it in front of me, if you want to read them.
We're just dedicating a few streets to people in Belleville who served our country. I'll read the names real quick. Arthur Burke, Richard Hayes, Glenn Nelson, Albert Cole, and John Varian. That's it. Just want to read the names.
Move it?
Second.
Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Longo?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Resolution's approved.
New business?
All right, new business? You want me to read
Mayor, I'm
it?
going to ask that somebody pull that, I have some comments to make on that,
On
on the new business resolution.
What, is it table?
Well, I really do think it should be tabled.
You know what it is?
It's a resolution of the mayor and municipal council of the township of Belleville and the county of Essex, the state of New Jersey, to authorize the mayor and municipal council to enter into a professional services contract with Manning, Scotland and Bauman LLC for special redevelopment council.
Is there any reason why you want to?
There's a number of reasons, Mayor. First of all, there's no question that this particular firm has substantial expertise in redevelopment. However, there are some questions that I have in connection with the resolution. For example, it refers to various projects, and it refers to a variety of financial and various redevelopments. By its own language, it is essentially appointing one firm to handle all redevelopment within the township of Belleville. And I think each of these pieces of the redevelopment puzzle, for example, School 1, the Second River Project, the Soho Hospital Project, the Roach Project, are all different moving parts. There's nothing in here, there's no indication of what the fees are going to be, if it's going to be an open-ended agreement, if there's a cap on it, if the fees are going to be paid by the township or a redeveloper. And the reason I put the RFQ resolution on was I was advised by the manager that there are a couple of, that we need to get this done right away. So this was one of the ways that I thought we'd get some various firms in to submit their qualifications. But if you determine even that you don't want to do that with this particular thing, an agreement really has to be hammered out to fix costs and what the responsibilities are. And I'm just assuming that under the terms of this, whoever the redevelopment council is would report, of course, to the manager and the governing body. So I think there's some things here that you need to know before you do this.
I have a question, when it's time. Who put this resolution on? Who presented it? It says mayor and council.
That I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, we spoke with the,
Me, the mayor, and Esposito put it on.
Oh, because it says mayor and council.
Well, then you can scratch council off.
Okay.
But mayor, deputy mayor, and Esposito.
Well, before,
Scratch Mitchell and
okay,
council.
so then you and the mayor put it on,
Right.
and Mr. Murphy looks it over. How come it wasn't looked over before we were gonna vote upon it?
What occurred actually is that there was a meeting this morning to discuss this, which was impossible for me to attend. But the mayor, the deputy mayor, I believe the manager did. The attorney who, this law firm knows the town very well.
I know,
They
I've
do
heard of
they
them.
do our,
Yes.
they've been our bond counsel for at least a decade, I'm
Yes.
guessing.
McManaman.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's
I
no
know.
doubt this is a top shelf firm. But,
Yes. And I
Just
understand
put on
that,
the
it was just, weird that I see mayor and council, and then,
Yeah, because some people bitch, like, if it just says mayor, they get mad. If it just says Cosarelli, Ravel, Kennedy, it says mayor. They complain their name ain't on it. Then you put everybody's name on it, and then they don't want the name on it. So people should make up their mind what they want on resolution.
why we put this on is because there is quite a bit of development potentially coming into Belleville. We want to make sure we have the right counsel so that we don't get sued and we're doing things properly. That's the only reason why we put a firm, so we're trying to appoint a firm to guide us through this.
Tom, could I ask you
That's the only reason.
I think, possibly your biggest concern, though, is the limit of liability, right? Like, we don't know how much money, we don't know what we're gonna do, so is there a way to say, in this case, because I think we all understand why this was done as quickly as it was done,
oh, sure.
was to, at this point, limit it to 5,000, 10,000, put a ceiling on it.
But that's not what this says.
Yeah, but
No, I'm saying amend it, to say
What are
so.
those packets, Kevin?
the proposal, I think the package said that the developers will pick up the expenses
Right.
Well, that's what we,
when they're appointed.
When appointed,
Right.
yes.
generally, that's what happens, Mayor, when the redeveloper is brought in and agrees, and there's a redevelopment project that's been approved. Let's say, everything's been done, the planning board, but I don't know that we're at the stage with that yet. And, it's a good idea to get a head start on it, but I don't know that it's a good idea to leave it so open-ended, because in the meantime, my understanding is the bills will be coming to Belleville.
That's what I'm saying, limit it.
It's gonna come out of the fees that the developers are gonna pay, the escrow accounts.
Yes, correct.
Eventually, we would be obligated in the short term, but eventually when a redeveloper is appointed
Come back to the
for the properties, it would be levied against the escrow accounts, similar to what we do for engineering services.
So what do we want to do, like table it?
Oh, pass it.
Well, if you're saying that we want to limit the liability, then amend it not to exceed X amount of dollars.
Yeah, but you can't because.
Okay,
Because
then
no one's gonna do it, they're gonna be doing all different projects.
then table it.
can we have another meeting and discuss it more, because I really know nothing about it. I wasn't privy to it, and I'd like to know
No,
more
we
stuff.
can't have every council member at the meetings.
That's
We have to
fine, but
develop
we should be
because
told,
We
that's
violate
fine.
the sunshine law.
Yeah, that's fine, I don't have to be at the meeting, just
What
as
about
long as I'm
a fee
told.
structure? Can they put a fee structure in there, like, when the,
Unless you wanted to put, language to the effect, subject to terms to be agreed upon.
Yeah.
And you also need a termination for convenience clause in there, so that when you pass a resolution like this, it's not forever.
Okay, I have no,
So pass to amend?
if we table it, it has to go through the next meeting. I mean, we have to bring it up through the next meeting,
They
whether
have
it passes or
presented-
not.
Mayor, they have presented a fee schedule, okay? And municipalities are already getting the benefit of their deeply discounted price, okay? Traditionally, this firm, when representing private individuals, charges almost 3 times what they've offered to the municipality in the form of professional services.
You want to make it subject to an agreement to be negotiated between the township and the firm?
Where are those packets, Kevin?
In my office, in the clerk's office.
Place more.
Well, they would have never been able to read them. by today.
Right, that's true
I mean, they
too.
could take them, well, you want to pass it subject to agreement by the council? I mean, we'll vote on it, subject to an agreement by the council. Through the,
Yeah, do it that way.
do it that way?
Is it subject to final?
You want to make an amendment to it now, or vote on it now, or table, whatever you want to do.
We could make it subject to the fee schedule presented once the fee schedule has been approved by the mayor and council.
Also subject to a termination for convenience, and
Yeah.
also subject to a fixed term, and subject to such development as, in the discretion of the governing body, shall be assigned. You know, those things are put in there, you can do it this evening if you want to.
So we
But those
pass it
things should be in
amended
there.
as such. Pass it as amended, as you recommend.
That would be fine. This way, we're not giving them a blanket approval for the entire town. Mayor and council would have the ability to award
Exactly.
based upon the property.
It's non-exclusive. You know, there's
Right.
Okay.
And certainly, if the comfort level exists after a project or two is developed, and you're confident with the firm's representation, you could reconsider that later on, at a later date.
I make a motion to move with the amendments.
Second.
Clerk will roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Longo?
No.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Resolution's approved.
New business, anything else on new business?
Not me. No.
amendments in there.
Motion adjourned?
No motion adjourned. All in favor, second?
So we do have a meeting the 28th.
What's happening, John? Good quality of the operator. What? They couldn't get a